You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
There's been very few times that I've started out preparing for my segment and even recorded part of it and listening to the playback and say, you know what, I'm not feeling that. These are one of those moments. What's so funny is that today has been a very unusual day. Typically, I'll have my recording session done extremely early to where it's coming up or coming out by the time people are putting their feet to the floor. But today, it was just different. It's one of those days, guys, I know you guys can relate, where you know you have a plan of what you want to do and need to get done today, but it just seems like from the point that you started your day, you just did not stay on path of any of that. Like nothing in regards to what you expected it to be turned out. And it's funny because when that happens, and it's Monday, it can kind of make you feel a little tilted, a little bit off your game. It also can make you feel like you're wandering, or you may not have so much focus because you feel like you're being pulled. It's one of those moments where you feel like really the day is kind of handling you versus you handling the day. And you know what, sometimes that can happen. And you know, how you allow it to fester can determine a lot more how the day goes. Do you fight against it? Do you try to stop and redirect yourself? Or do you kind of go with the flow? So I got to admit today, guys, I had to end up going with the flow. Because for every move I made, it was almost like I was playing chess. There was a counter move, and there was something that I thought would take a next step, and then I would be backed up. And I said, okay, evidently this is a day where I need to exercise patience, because every step of the way has either been paused, slowed down, or redirected. So when you're kind of in that space, what do? You endure. You take it as it goes, and you really have to sometimes recognize, you know what, today is a day that I just kind of got to go with the flow. Not fight it, not resist it, not climb back and try to fight through it. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Guys, you know what time it is. It's Sonny's Money
Sonny
Motivation.
with LouddMouth Radio Network. Proud to be able to make this statement today and say that LouddMouth Radio Network, LouddMouth.com, LouddMouth Marketing and Entertainment Group is officially a part of the Hemet-Santacino Chamber of Commerce, a chamber of commerce that is dedicated to serving small businesses in the Santacino Valley region. Looking to attract, develop, promote, and seek to harbor full prosperity for local businesses, the Hemet-Santacino Valley Chamber is a great choice to get that support, providing avenues of networking, training, program development, and influence policy for the public and advocating legislative issues that are helping to promote local business and job growth. So if you're looking or considering a chamber to join and you want to have a good presence in a strong working community within the Southern California area, maybe you should consider the Hemet-Santacino Valley Chamber of Commerce. For more information, visit them online at HemetSantaCinoChamber.com. Are you looking for some authentic, low and slow homemade barbecue? Look no other than Big Daddy's Barbecue, located at 1020 North State Street in Santacino, California. Serving up some of the best barbecue you can imagine, from ribs to hot links, chicken, even catfish. Not fast food, but good food fast. That's what they believe right there at Big Daddy's Barbecue. So today is the second Monday in the month of June, and I don't know about you guys, but here in Southern California, it ain't nothing looking like anything sunny today. It has been totally cloudy, overcast, cool, rainy, 50, 60 degrees. It looks like a typhoon is coming this direction or something crazy, like a tornado. It's been that kind of temperature. And I must admit, for this region, it's a major adjustment. So today, Monday starts, and it feels like everything but a Monday. And I feel like there are days when you have a whole aspect of thought of what you're going to get done, and you have your little task list, and you're figuring like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is handle this, and then your first thing goes totally 360. Then the next thing goes totally 360. Then you're doing a 180, and it's like, wait a minute. Am I not
focused? Is it that I'm not focused? Or is it just that maybe what I intended for today is just not what today is going to be? I quickly discovered that that was the kind of day that I was having. So much as to the fact that even in regards to this radio segment, my intention was to do something differently today, which I did. Because at this time, I'm recording this show extremely late. It's in the evening now. And I was determined to stay on path as best I could with all of the things that I had on my list to do today. But guys, when I tell you, it has been one of those days that either you're going to roll with how things are going, you're going to take a deep breath and just kind of continue to keep doing what you can do within the time period or within the space that you're in, because it just appears that this is not what I thought it was supposed to be. Days like that, I think there are these little universal elements that test you to see how you're going to respond. You know, do you bend or do you become hell bent and then make your day harder? Because it seems to be evident that there's something that is taking you off task. And because that's happening, when you're conscious of it, number one, it can feel frustrating because you're like, I know I need to do this, but because something else is infiltrating my time and my direction, I can't get it done. So you handle whatever is before you, and then you go back at it and you work to get through the next thing and try to get back on task. Guys, when I tell you today, it was like that almost every other step of the way. And I think about midday, about 12, 1 o'clock, I said, okay, half of the day is gone. I'm in the mid part of the afternoon. I am nowhere near where I thought I was going to be. So what do? I took a deep breath and I just kind of recognized and said, okay, I think today is a day that I got to exercise some patience, because everything that I'm doing is causing me to have to step and stop and do a different step. And I could say that I could have got frustrated about it and made it a whole thing. But when I tell y'all, my mind didn't even want to do that. I couldn't find that space to participate in that. So I didn't. So what did when it's like that, sometimes you just got to figure out, okay, out of the things that I have on my list, what is a priority today? What has to get done today? What can't wait till tomorrow? What can be pushed back to another day? And I'm going to be honest with you. I think the start of it wasn't even me. It was the factor of me being conscious of, I know that is today's Monday. I saw the weather. It felt a little bit weird. I was feeling achy in the body. And it left me to feel like, okay, I'm supposed to talk to this person, that person, and none of that's happening. It's all being redirected. So maybe I need to look at some other stuff. I had to, deal with some medication stuff, and it was just task. And it just seems like it was not a day for me to have that moment of free will. So instead of making it a day of frustration, you make it a day of purpose, just a different purpose. Maybe not the purpose you intended, but whatever it seems like is drawing the attention before you. Moments like that, that's when you'll hear that statement of going with the flow, because it can redirect the way your whole aura of the day could translate to you. So for the most part of the day, time just was not something that I could focus on, because if I would have, it would have really definitely frustrated me, because when you know that your intention is to do things by a certain time and you don't reach that pinnacle, it makes you feel like you're not doing things. You're not handling your business sometimes, and you feel like your business is handling you. And you know what? It's days like this that you just have to recognize that, for as far as you can see, everybody's doing the best they can in their own space. Whatever you can control within the element of yourself today, do that. Whatever you can't, don't worry about the difference. Like I'm physically looking at a huge mountain right now, and this whole day, that mountain been sitting right there. But the clouds, the light, the rain, just different things have been crowding over it. But the mountain has stayed consistently right where it is. So could I be the mountains and stay still? Or do I allow myself to move like the things that's been over the mountain, which has been moving and swaying? And that is the difference of being resistant and going with the flow. I think that for the most part, when you're dealing with the first part of your week and it is already showing up to be something totally different than what you intended to be, it's days like this that you just literally have to focus on some of the other aspects that need to be acknowledged or handled. And it could only be maybe one or two things. Maybe it could be it could be totally nothing on your list. But still finding and understanding that in this moment, it still has a purpose and there's a reason that it's happening. You may not see it right now. You may not understand why, that you might have felt like you had to sacrifice your day. I do know that for many of us, this time of year, the weather typically looks differently. And because the weather is not the way that it normally would be here right now, the people's attitudes around you probably might be a little bit different. I know it is out here. I think most people are like, okay, this is supposed to be the summer, at least be warm enough to where we could say it's beyond the springtime. We're looking like fall weather conditions. And it plays a part on people's moods. Today I really thought about people that had businesses that have got to be dealing with a major adjustment. Companies that sell swimsuits, if you're into water sports, if you rent things that require people to come to the beach, boats, jet skis, canoes. I mean, there's a plethora of things. California is full of activities, outside activities. So today was kind of cool for me to say, you know what, right now I may not be doing what I need to do pertaining to my list, but I actually started thinking about other people and how the weather and how certain things is affecting them and how maybe their business is suffering right now, or their families are not able to do certain things because the volume of what they would normally do is not present. And guys, when I tell y'all, it kind of made the day seem less hectic for me. It made me think about the fact that yeah, I know that I had all these intentions, but for whatever the reason, it just didn't go that way. But just to be able to think about how other people in this time too are also affected, but in a different way, in a way in which there's no center of control. There's nobody that totally has this remote control to trigger the weather to be 80, 90 degrees with the beaches flooded right now. And in California, I'm sure there's a substantial amount of businesses out here that's their core, market. And to be, situated right now with these kind of skies and this kind of weather and really our season, it hasn't been just a day or two. It's been a season of crazy weather. So, what might they be doing right now? If nothing else, they're probably stressed, to say the least. They're probably feeling heavily frustrated. They may be even, trying to figure out different ways to alter things that can help their revenue streams to continue. So it made me realize that, it may not have been the day that I had hoped for it to be for myself, but, I am present. I'm safe. I'm not in a place where I need to be concerned about my health or, of detriment, so that's one thing. Two, I'm not, dependent on that same type of situation and scenario. So it kind of made me just fall back into a level of gratitude. And I think that, the attitude in the midst of things also helps you to know that you're going with the flow. Because if you adjust your attitude, then you'll find that things can maneuver around you a little bit easier. Yeah, you might be disappointed that you couldn't get certain things done, but you definitely don't feel so heavy. You don't necessarily feel so stressed out that you've allowed whatever it is to overshadow, the moments in your day. So I don't know, for me, I find that it was important, like this show was important for me to get it done. I literally had 2 or 3 other topics that I thought that I would be talking about earlier today, but because of the dynamics that changed for me very early on, here it is. I ended up coming with a whole nother level of inspiration to talk about. As you can see, the topic of this discussion is clearly what has been a mark of how my day has been. And for that reason, I'm actually kind of grateful that I'm able to still, get on this mic, share my feelings and thoughts, and hopefully let it resonate with somebody who's going to hear it after I, load everything in and let it go. So I think today it's been purposeful, just in a different way. And it's moments like now that you see these little things that life tests you with. And I think on the first recording that I initially thought I was going to load up, I didn't even stay with that audio. But I made a statement about how, sometimes your life has to have elasticity, where you have to be able to stretch and pull and contort yourself. Sometimes not just in the physical, but just in the mind space, in the spirit space, in the attitude space, and I think it's something that's good for your mental. It's sometimes you need that disruption. It's like, you have a certain way that you go home. If you go home and go to work every day, and most times we take the same directions that we leave the house to go to work. But do you ever sometimes challenge yourself to go a different route? Maybe take another street, maybe take a whole nother direction from the way you normally would go, and come back home and allow you to see things, and then things don't become so redundant or mundane. Even with people in your life, your children, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, your mom, your friend, your roommates. Do you kind of do the same mundane things with them that you typically would do? And have you ever had a conversation or said something to somebody and their response was so dull that you realized they weren't listening because they became accustomed to how you maneuver? And sometimes you need to switch things up. Sometimes your conversation needs to change. Sometimes the mechanisms of what you do after work needs to change. Sometimes, you need to do some things, spontaneously. Maybe take a date on a Monday night versus waiting to the Friday night date that we always go on. Or not. Maybe you don't do any date nights at all. Maybe you need to discover new ways of communication, new ways of interacting with friends and family, and your sociability. Maybe you're not as social, so maybe you should go out and go to a local bar and have a beer or have a drink, or if you're not a drinker, have a virgin daiquiri or something, and go see the game. And I know that the NBA Finals is today, so it's just different things. Sometimes you have to make some changes, and I think it makes your breathing pattern change. I think it makes your mind be a little more refreshed, and it can change your whole outlook on a day by doing things differently. So I think it's important, guys, that we learn how to go with the flow at times. And you might discover something that was meant to save you. Maybe you didn't go the same direction today and it saved you from being in a car wreck that could have critically injured you or somebody else. Maybe you had to stay a little bit later at work today. I know that wasn't your intention, but maybe in doing that, you were able to get more things done. You maybe help somebody else keep their job. So you just never know what the direct result is from making those changes or making those adjustments and going with the flow. Guys, I appreciate you guys listening. I want to encourage you guys to continue to keep following us, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, and follow us, LouddMouth Radio Network. And also tune into our segments. We got some incredible businesses coming on over the next few weeks. We're in our new season. We're in season 10. We're still in season 10, but we got a new mid-season of content coming forward on LouddMouth Radio Network, and I'm so excited about it. And I'm so grateful that those who are partaking in this content and sharing their stories and hardships and obstacles and heartaches and love aches or whatever it is that they're doing day to day to be who they are, allows us to be able to share those stories. So I look forward to that elevation, as well as being able to broadcast in our studios, which is a huge thing for us. And I know I spoke on this briefly a few days ago, and I'm just grateful that we're able to supply some good content for people to share and enjoy. So hopefully we're doing what we always set out to do, which is empower, inspire, entertain. You guys have been great listeners, and we appreciate your support. And if you want, you can go to LouddMouth Radio Network or LouddMouthRadio.com and go to our contact page and send us some messages and notes, or let us know what your thoughts are. And we appreciate you guys. You all have a blessed day. You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
On a tight budget? Find local savings on LouddMouth.com. Find great coupon deals in your area of local restaurants, hair salons, auto, home improvement, contractors, and more. Rate and review your favorite businesses or click and connect them on your favorite social network pages with a friend. LouddMouth.com, the voice for local search, local business, and local savings. Register your small business online today with LouddMouth.com, the small business choice for affordable internet and local advertising. With plans as low as $65 a month, create your business mini website profile promoting your products and services. Join the LouddMouth Network and get top placement on LouddMouth.com today. 30.7 million small businesses in the U.S., creating 1.5 million jobs annually. Small business accounts for 64% of new job creation in the U.S. There's strength in numbers. No matter what we face, know that there's strength in us. Because of you, we're able, we're capable, we're resilient. And we are available because we are small business. And together, we're the economy.
No matter the time or the season, we're open and available 24/7. Shouldn't your dealership be too? Carumba.com, the convenient online used vehicle marketplace. Register your independent dealership now. You Need Tent 2, located at 3118 Emory Street Northwest in Unit B in Covington, Georgia, is dedicated to delivering high-quality tent workmanship and excellent customer service. You Need Tent 2 has a variety of tent shade options and films ready to be installed with a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. So stop by today. You Need Tent 2 is the go-to destination for professional window and tinting services. Don't forget to visit us online at youneedtent2.com. And don't forget to tell them that LouddMouth Radio sent you.